All right, all done at the doctor's. They said I'm gonna live, which is good. No, it's just a physical, nothing crazy, so nothing fun to report, which I guess is a good thing when you go to the doctors. I don't want to have any news. It's cool though. I didn't realize, so I had to get blood work done, just part of the physical, and I was thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to go schedule more time. And I was asking him, I said, like, when can I go? And he was like, you can literally walk downstairs right now and do it. And I was like, really? So that's awesome. I didn't know that was a thing. So pretty happy about not having to take more time off. I'm just being cautious. This turn is kind of crappy. I can't really see anything coming around the corner. So this could be it for me. This could be the last video I ever make, because I might die right here. But we'll see. No, we're good. I will live to see another day. Yeah, no, so that was cool. But like, it was super easy to go get blood work done right after, and I remember having to go like make appointments and stuff for that. So just awesome that I don't have to do that. Okay, so I had a lot of ranting today so far. I'm gonna try not to rant in this video. And I wanted to talk a little bit about more about BrandGo, some of the stuff that I'm building, and why, right? So BrandGo is primarily right now the way that the platform exists. I've talked about this a bunch. It allows you to schedule content on a recurring basis across social media platforms. And that's the primary offering at this point. So as we're trying to basically approach new prospects, one of them in particular is that we have a sort of like a deck, like a pitch deck that we're putting together to a real estate company. And I had talked to a contact there. I will refer to them as a contact. And they kind of gave me some insights into some of the things that they would need to consider, that they would need in our offering in order to consider us as a viable option to kind of help them out. Now, what's interesting is, like, this is not a tiny real estate company. It's not like an individual realtor where, they really, like, the only income they have is like if they're making house sales and stuff, because it's not like easy for realtors, right? They have to go bust their butt to go get sales. But this is like an agency, so it's they're doing pretty good. So the cost of our service, I don't feel like that's a prohibitive thing for them. So that's good news. But cost aside, like, there's either a benefit or a hidden cost, right, for them. If the platform that we're offering, let's assume it's free to use, right? If the platform that we're offering is going to slow their social media person down, that's literally like a negative impact. And if you add on the fact that it costs money, then it's even more negative. So we have to make sure that it's going to be helping them. And that way it's like, using the software is obviously like supposed to be a positive or a net benefit for them. So I just wanted to kind of, that might be obvious, but I wanted to kind of say it out loud. This intersection's god-awful. I don't understand how that's supposed to work. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Go through. Oh, I need to be in that lane. That's why. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see it on a map, but this part's really bad. So anyway, they let me know that there's like a minimum set of features that we need to have. And I think from our perspective, we're like, some of them were like, we get why they're asking for it, but we actually don't believe that that's like truly a minimum set of features. Like, we believe that we would still be saving them time and money if they weren't using what they're at. Like, if we don't have what they're asking for, we still think that it would save them time and money, like, without a doubt. But I can understand that they want it to be a more holistic platform, again, so that it's not going to be costing time and money for their social media person. I got over the lane, nice. Okay, so because Brand Ghost right now schedules content like on a recurring basis, the other thing that they need to be able to do, and actually I need this for myself, I need to be able to do one-off posts or schedule a post that's not part of an entire chain of recurring content. That's actually a requirement that I have. And the way that I get around that right now is I just do it manually. And it kind of sucks because I'm too lazy to go post it across every social media platform. So what will happen is like I will have a post and it's like, it's a one-off one. Sometimes I might do like sponsored posts for Pact Publishing. They make, the authors that they have make really awesome books. I've had a bunch of C# ones sent to me, and they're not promoting or sponsoring this, right? I mean it genuinely. Like the authors do a really good job, and so I'm happy to kind of do a sponsored post for that. But when I go to post that, I just post it to LinkedIn. And what I should be doing realistically is saying, look, like for a slightly more money, like as a sponsored post, let me go post this to different platforms, right? And I could do it with one click. And I'm just not doing that right now. But if I had this ability in Brand Ghost in the user interface, then it'd be great. So that's one thing they're asking for. And it's interesting because from like an architectural perspective, if we think about what has to happen for Brand Ghost to work, is like we already have this idea that we can go post to social media platforms. Like that's what we do. But what's interesting is that when we think about a social media platform and content that has to go to it, we have to kind of shape the content in a similar way so that it can successfully post what you intend across those platforms. But part of that is when you define this stream of content, we're kind of learning the shape that you want to use. But if it's a one-off post, we don't really do that. So what's interesting is that problem, I don't even want to say it's a problem, that like scenario doesn't exist. And that could either make problems or it could make things very, very simple. And so I started building out this feature and I realized that I think it actually does make it very, very simple, which is nice. So instead of having some of the complexity that I was kind of defining it as like the shape of the different things that we want to be posting, it actually becomes extremely simple for a one-off post. So I started building out the back-end pieces for this because the front end is going to be a little bit weird to figure out. And the reason I wanted to talk about this one is because there's like some software development aspects from like a coding perspective, but also from a priority and like project kind of planning perspective. So I wanted to walk you through it. We have heard from them from their contact that they want to be able to have one-off posts and they want to be able to see like one-off or scheduled posts with the topic stream recurring posts. They want to see that all in the same view. So they need the recurring stuff, they need a calendar view, they need one-off posts, they need scheduled posts. Okay, makes sense. But our argument is that they can just not use Brand Ghost right now for their one-off posts. There's literally nothing stopping them. So we know that that's not ideal, but we have to think about this. There's only so much time, right? If we want to be able to have a conversation with them and we don't have it done yet, do we just wait and keep waiting until maybe one day we have it done? Or do we get them interested, show them our capabilities and say, look, if you have an interest in those features, we will build them out for you. Like basically, you want it? If you're interested and you're going to pay, like we'll build it. So what we're trying to do at this point is continue building what we have to build. But I am trying to, in the background, come on, buddy, get in front of me. To merge lanes here. I'm trying to build out some of that functionality in the background. Sorry. Was not expecting that cough. And what's cool about that, and this is how Brand Ghost has been being built this whole time, like leading up to this point, is like I build out the backend functionality and then I start using it for myself. And I get to be sort of like the primary use case validator, and like I get to be the guinea pig, because like I said, I have a use for this too. I can make it happen in like Postman, right? Like sending requests to my server. Like I can make it, I don't need the user interface for it. So I can get ahead of the curve. If we know that they're going to want this, I've started building it. It's not done, but I can start getting it in place. That way, if they're like, well, hell yeah, we're interested, we'll sign, we definitely want to have that capability, we go, great. Now we can go invest the time into the user interface, make it pretty, make it functional from a user perspective. So we've been fine, and this is just my opinion so far, but it seems like it's been a really good fit to be able to try getting some of the back-end functionality in place to kind of prove the feasibility and, quite frankly, the usefulness of it. So because I am a content creator and I rely on this kind of stuff, I get to be using it and proving the value of these features. Then we get to focus purely on like, okay, like users want this, how are they going to use it? How do we make it intuitive? And we can invest all of our energy into that. And honestly, if users aren't interested, it's like, it's okay. Like that functionality exists. We can find other ways to leverage it. We could just stop investing into development of that feature in its entirety. But some things are still going to be beneficial for me to have in place, even on the back end. It's a nice Porsche. It's a cool color. Very green. So I've been building this one-off post scheduling, and I just wanted to, talk about this a little bit because it's kind of cool. The idea is very similar to looking for our topic streams that need to be posted. So we have some recurring workflow that runs, and it looks for things that are scheduled to go now. So it keeps looking. And the same idea for scheduled posts now. So something will run and it will look for posts that are ready to get fired off. Then what it does from there is I'm using, I've made YouTube videos on this, so this is not my Dev Leader channel, but if you go check out my Dev Leader channel, I don't edit these, so I'm not going to put links and stuff, and I don't got time for that. Go to my Dev Leader channel. It's called Quartz, like the crystal quartz. Quartz.net is the job scheduling framework that I'm using. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. And basically, I'm queuing up your scheduled posts in Quartz. Now, I'm not totally set on using. It's going to be kind of weird to explain. Quartz itself is a job scheduling framework. Okay, so if you have a scheduled post, conceptually, you could say, well, when someone makes a scheduled post, why not just go make the Quartz job for it? Sorry, that was a big yawn. I just held it in. And you could go say, at the time someone wants to schedule a post, make the Quartz job that will trigger at some time. But it makes me a little nervous, not because I don't trust Quartz, but it makes me nervous because I'm literally scheduling, I'm scheduling the piece of functionality that's going to go trigger code to execute. And I feel much safer, I guess is a word to use. I feel much safer about storing the metadata. I want to store the post content and where you want it to go. I want to store the metadata for the post with a scheduled time, and then last second, I want to transform that into a Quartz scheduled job. There's different reasons why you may or may not want to do this, but my thought process is like, what if someone wants to edit a scheduled post? If I tried to couple all of these scheduled posting stuff into a Quartz job, now I kind of feel like I'm coupling things together that I don't really feel good about. And I would, again, my design philosophy here is like, I would much rather keep the concept of a scheduled post sort of in my own domain. I don't want to have it tied to Quartz. I want to be able to have my own database tables for it. I want to represent a post. We can build, edit, update functionality, whatever. And then when it's time to actually take care of the posting, right at that point, I will translate that into a job that will go get queued up to get fired off. So just to briefly explain that last part, the big difference that I'm talking about is I'm not using Quartz to schedule the job. I'm using Quartz to go execute the job. And the way that that's done is that the Quartz job system, technically I could have other instances pick up other instances of our service, if we went that direction, could go pick up that job to go post. So if we wanted to go to microservices or have configured instances that only do the posting or something, like we could go that direction. There we go. So that's how I've been building that part, and I think it's made me realize there's the part that actually looks at the schedule. That part, that's actually that should be a scheduled job, and it's not right now. It's like an ASP.NET ASP.NET Core, oh my goodness, hosted service inside of our web application. So I kind of think that I want to see that as a Quartz job, but it feels like it's a better fit. But the other reality is right now, it's working. And I've just written all the tests for the scheduled post one that will go look at the schedule for that. Works the same. I already said this in the video. Works the same way as the topic stream one. So I'm kind of like, hey, look, man, it's not broken. Why fix it if it's not broken? And I don't think that I'm gonna spend the time on that now. I like it as an option. I like knowing that it's there, but right now, if someone were to say, well, Nick, what's the benefit of doing that? I would just say, it seems like a better fit. Kind of seems like a crappy reason to go spend time writing code on that. So I'm not for now, but we will see. I'm just checking. I'm going to be almost late for a meeting. The doctor's appointment was a little longer than I thought, but I'll make it home on time, which is good news. What else? That's the scheduled post stuff. So the part that I mentioned that we're probably going to defer a little bit and see if they're still interested, this is the real estate company, is going to be visualizing a schedule for that, because it becomes like it's not easy to show all this stuff on a calendar. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. So we got to see. We'll come up with something for that, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just not. It's difficult to make it feel intuitive because it's already not super intuitive with the topic streams, and I should try to clarify what I mean by that. So with a topic stream, it recurs on a weekly basis. Okay, so when we show you a calendar view, it's a weekly view. It's not an absolute date. Okay, so if that makes sense. Now we have another view where you can see what's up and coming on specific dates, but the current calendar view shows you a week, Monday through Sunday, and it will say on Monday, here's the topic streams that are firing at these times, but it's not absolute dates. What's very different about a scheduled post or a one-off post, right, is that's gonna have a specific date. So we need to make sure that our calendar view is representing truly what people want to see. So it's not impossible, but right now it's a lot more work. And I think personally that before we go commit to go doing a whole bunch of that right now, we should we should see if they're interested. Because right now, if no one else is asking for it, there's a lot of other stuff that people are asking for that we should look at. So that's kind of like our priority order, right? I'll kind of try to summarize it, but we have feature asks from a group kind of preemptively. We want to pitch to them our initial offering, which does not have those features, but we have started building in the background some of those features. And if they are interested in pursuing working with us, then we'll continue to build out those features. And then hopefully that will demonstrate to them as well, like, we're serious about building the things that help them, right? And I mentioned that I'm currently building some of that backend functionality so that we're not too far behind on being able to deliver it if they're ready to move forward. But I think that's kind of where we're at with that set of features. So it's pretty cool. I'm happy about it in terms of, because one of the last couple of videos I made was talking about testing. In terms of where we're at for testing that, I have a bunch of pieces of that scheduled post system, like being exercised with functional tests. So I feel pretty good about a bunch of it. There's a couple spots I just want to make sure I have more automated coverage on, and should be easy to do. I feel, like I said, I feel good about that. I'm not nervous, but I just got to get it done, and then I should be ready to go try it, like running it end to end and truly like hitting a web API with content I want to post and seeing it go out across my social platforms. I'm really excited for that. I think that's going to be super cool. It's reminds me of like the first time I actually brought content into Brand Ghost, because I've mentioned this before, I've been using Brand Ghost as an API to go post out across social platforms. But when I started pulling in my own content into Brand Ghost and having it do like on its own, like the scheduling, the first topic stream that posted was really cool because it was like, man, like it's happening, like this is it working. So I'm excited to see that kind of stuff work for the first time. And it's been working ever since, so it's been pretty cool. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas here, but it's pretty exciting. I think it's good to see that the group of us are like, that we're all excited. It's not like other people are getting burnt out from it, like, and I know the other guys are working super hard too, so that's like it's something like a feel-good thing where none of us are, like, every one of us is working hard at it. It means some calls, that, especially for the other guys, like it's pretty late for them. So it's late nights, it's challenging problems, it's, you know, us debating things together. And it's not like they're getting burnt out from it or like fed up, right? Like, okay, well, screw this. Like, this is, it's not too much work is maybe how I would say it. And it's a cool thing to say because it obviously is work. We're doing this thing to build this software. It is work, but even though it's challenging, we're enjoying building it together. And I think that makes a huge difference because, you know, it'd be so easy to just give up and say, like, why bother, right? It's hard work, who cares? It would be so easy to just not go work on this, like, right? Get so much more time back for doing other stuff. Like, great, cool, I could nap longer, everything. But it's actually fun to go build these things, and I'm just glad that the other guys are enjoying it too. It feels like kind of selfish if, like, this is something that I can leverage, and they're like, that's nice, but like this sucks to build, for example. I would feel bad, and like that's not the case right now. It's actually really cool. Like this is an idea that I kind of started with, but even last night, right, we were on a call together, and like I had to leave early, and they stuck around and they're on the call. Like they're motivated, and it's exciting to see. So that makes me feel good. It's energizing for me. So yeah, I feel good about it. But I am home. Dogs are barking. I got a meeting. I'll see you guys later. Take care.